All right. So he was about to go into it, but I want to go into it. I don't want him to go into it. I want me and y'all to go over this. Hold on, lady, shut up. And wait a second. You always got these people always want to be all antsy and just start talking. I want to hear that. Now, these people are from Michigan. And with them being from Michigan, what these people did was they decided to bring their asses all the way down to Detroit. Now, here's what I want y'all to understand. Detroit is predominantly black, but it's starting to change, which is not a bad thing. You know, the white people they coming back to the D. They buying up the properties, and I'm gonna be 100 with you. Some people, so it was this whole thing that I was hearing people saying. They was saying how our mayor was supposedly like his office, they were over assessing the properties on purpose, and supposedly they owe Detroit homeowners $600 million. Yeah, I'm okay, baby. What's wrong? No, I'm good, baby. Go ahead, go back to bed. I love you. um $600 million, and it's because they over assessing like tax, the property tax and everything like that. Now, all the people that always said that, it was like, okay, and they was talking about gentrification, they was talking all this stuff, or whatever, right? Now, here's one thing that I do know. Just, born and raised in the city, born and raised in the hood, whatever. I know that when a lot of the people left out of the city of Detroit, I think they called it I think it was called like the white flight or something like that. Basically, like where all the white people was leaving the urban areas, going into the suburbs and stuff like that. I seen our communities basically drop, you know, uh, mainly because of the riots back in, what was it, 60, I think it was like 1967 or something like that. It seemed, because growing up, I seen a bunch of abandoned buildings and it was just always going downhill. Now, at one point in time, Detroit was the murder capital in the whole country. Now, I want y'all to understand when it comes to Detroit, like Detroit has been through a lot of different things. So we had that whole riot. We had burn down buildings, burn down houses. You had the housing crash that happened in 2008, 2009. Of course, that affected Detroit like a mofo. What else happened in Detroit? Detroit is the largest city in American history to go bankrupt. What else? So all these bad things basically was happening, right? So we had politicians that was stealing from the city, all that. Now, fast forward all the way into today. All the white people started to coming back. They had money. Now, of course, some people they go into, the banks to get them money. They want to get the black people money. And I'm not taking nothing away from any of that. Like, I don't know if any of this is like factual information, but I do know one thing. It seems like when, white people start coming back to Detroit, everything started to change. I kid you not. I seen white people um running in the neighborhoods, which I think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people that's like, oh no, you need to stay out of here. I'm cool with diversity. I mean, I have no issue with it. Don't get me wrong. I would prefer to see more black affluent people. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to move, because I want my children to see more black successful people. But I don't have no issue with no other ethnic group. I love all people, just being 100. But when all them people started to coming back, of course, the property value started to go up, which is a good thing. Another thing that I really noticed too, the police. Kid you not. The police reaction times was a lot faster. Um, just the police presence in general, you start seeing them way more. That's some of the things that I started to notice. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm with it. But these people here, you won't see a lot of black people, because I only seen like a few seconds of this. But all these people came to downtown Detroit to protest for Canada. Now, for anybody who's never been to Detroit, when you go to downtown Detroit, especially it's one part, it's called the River Walk. When you downtown along the River Walk, you can see directly into Canada. It's right across the water. You see they whole downtown area, which is Ontario. You see all of that. These people were down there screaming that they, they stand with Canada and all that type of stuff, right? Now, me personally, I think they should take their ass over there. It's like, okay, cool. You want to, because I can see if they were Canadians, like they were Canadian, and for some odd reason they lived here and they was doing that, got you. You got to support home. If you came over here, like you grew up there, you came here, I'm with it. If that's where you from. But if you ain't from Canada, what the fuck is you doing protesting down there? I understand you may feel some type of way, but you don't do that. That's like your kids protesting your house because the neighbors across the street get pissed off about something because you did something that they didn't like, and your kids go outside and they protesting about what you doing at home. It's like, well, take your ass over there and live with them then. That's how I feel about these people. Let's get into it.
Rock him up! Rock him up! Two countries, one cause. Demonstrators in Detroit and Windsor joining forces in a cross-border protest united against President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada. Thank you for joining us. I'm Will Jones.
And I'm Pamela Osborne. Protests are happening just as President Trump's reciprocal tariffs on Canada and Mexico are set to take effect. That's on April 2nd. Our Jacqueline Francis is here to show us how demonstrators hope to get the attention of those in power. Jacqueline?
This was incredibly unique in the fact that on this side of the Detroit River, there were protesters, and then on the other side, there were Canadian protesters, all fighting for the same cause. From the U.S. to Canada, protesters gave their take on tariffs.
We're protesting what's happening to the United States and how we're treating our neighbor.
Organizers say the demonstration is in response to President Donald Trump's tariffs against Canada.
What's happening with our allies, Canada, there's a lot of people very upset.
Earlier this week, President Trump defending the tariffs.
We're going to be getting back some of the wealth that very, very foolish presidents gave away.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
Protesters also called out Trump for his recent remarks about making Canada part of the U.S. Demonstrators taking pride in the turnout.
By seeing this many people coming out on a cold day in Detroit, maybe it'll have some impact.
There's an awful lot of people here, and we have our friends across the river looking at us.
Protesters tell us there are more events to come, including one in Lansing in 2 weeks. Reporting from Hart Plaza, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Boy, listen. Honestly, send their asses over there. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Send their ass to Canada and tell them, you know what? They got natural born citizenship. Revoke their citizenship. You want to go against us? Go over there with them. Listen, you can't do this type of stuff in no other country, bro. You can't do it in like China. I'm pretty sure you can't do it in Germany. Shit, you probably can't even do it in Canada, probably. You probably can't. Take y'all asses over there with them since y'all don't like it. Because put it like this. How are you going to get mad? How are you going to get mad that Trump is doing stuff for America, bro? I thought it was America first. They all talking about some, our allies. We don't like what they're doing to our allies. So you didn't know that they was actually like, they tax us on a lot of shit too? Y'all don't know about that? You talking about this whole free trade agreement? No. Remember when we did when we talked about it last week that they like what was the milk? It was like some other stuff that eggs and some other stuff. And remember, I just want y'all, and the only reason I bring this up is because these same people, remember they was bitching about the price of eggs and they was mad at Trump like, oh, he still ain't brought the egg prices down and all this. But yet, if we getting our eggs over from Canada and they overtaxing us like a motherfucker about eggs, but y'all bitching about eggs, it's like they the reason for it. But then you mad. Like what? I thought it was supposed to be America first. These motherfuckers down there, they basically saying Canada first. Cause we taxing them. We want our fucking job. We want our jobs to come back to America. Y'all remember South Park? They took our jobs. That's what's going on with that. They took our jobs. We want our shit back. But they mad. Oh boy. I tell you, sometimes people are people, you know? It's like, can you be mad at people? Yeah, I think you can. Because a lot of times I think people stupid. I'm just being completely 100. A lot of people are stupid because I really don't understand what the fuck they down there protesting. I honestly believe they just like, oh, we just don't like Trump. So whatever he do, we don't care. We don't like it. That's what I honestly believe. And if say that. That's my thing. If you don't like Trump, just say, Trump, we don't like your ass. And, we just don't like what you're doing because we don't like you personally. But, to hell with Canada, yeah, you doing a good job with, helping America become back great, and I ain't talking about with all the racist stuff. I ain't talking about that. Because a lot of people try to, and I was a part of it. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Before I became more aware, stuff like that. I was a part of well, when was America great and who was it great for? Listen, we know what America has did to black people. We know this. We know about slavery. We know about Jim Crow. We know about segregation and all like that. But one thing a lot of people don't know is when you actually start to dive in a little bit more, you start to learn that everything that we was once told ain't really 100% true. It's only like part of the truth. Now, yeah, we definitely been fucked over. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that we haven't. Yeah, we have. We know this. But today, we have more opportunities to actually do something. And it's like our people is not really doing shit. So it's like I can't even hold on to a lot of that stuff no more because you really think about it. Think about a lot of opportunities, like if you becoming more successful or just in life in general. Who really kind of gave you a lot of those opportunities? I'm not gonna lie, a lot of opportunities that I have had come by, stuff like that. It wasn't really a black person that gave it to me. Now, I'm not gonna say every opportunity, no, because it's like my cousin, he definitely, gave me opportunity as far as my first job, getting into Red Lobster, which I absolutely hated after a while. But my cousin got me that job. But guess who hired me? It was a white dude. Cousin hit him up. He's like, "Hey, cuz, you want a job?" I'm like, "Man, yeah, I'm in high school." I'm like, "Yeah, cuz I want a job." He like, "All right, bet. You got an interview today, blah, blah." I'm like, "All right, cool." Go to the interview. It wasn't really a real purpose for the interview. I was going to get the damn job. But a white dude hired me. Ever since that, white. Well, no black dudes. In our community, it ain't black men that's, and I'm not saying this in large. So please don't black men do. I'm not saying that because I know black men are great. I'm just simply saying within our communities, it's not us in large giving our jobs back to our own people. You see what, especially within the media and all that, what was being showcased about our people. We always on some bullshit.